Mike, let's do this a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
As we all know, we're getting ready for the college football playoffs. It's going to be the last time it's going to be 4 teams in the playoffs. And every year, a team has literally come from nowhere and made the playoffs. So let's put on our thinking caps and try to predict who this year's team is going to be. In 2014, it was Ohio State. In 2015, it was MSU. 16, it was Washington. So it's happened a lot of times. Cincinnati was the latest team that just came from nowhere. So I'm going to give you a list of teams, Mike. David, let me know how probable it would be that this team would make the 14 playoff.
All right.
Let's start off with, fresh off of their upset, University of Louisville.
I mean, scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
A 1. I mean, they're a fun story. Braum, huge transfer portal stuff. You know, the big win against Notre Dame, but that was a spot. Notre Dame had played night game the week before against Duke, night game the week before against OSU, has played since week 0. Notre Dame was tired, man. It wouldn't shock me in the least they go to Pitt and lose this week. I'd say it's just a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't see enough from them. I know if they win it all, they go to the ACC championship game. I just don't think there's enough there in the ACC. Beating Duke isn't impressive anymore. Beating Miami isn't impressive anymore. So I'm sorry, I can't see it.
Well, they would have Pitt, Duke, Virginia Tech, Virginia, Miami, and finish the season with Kentucky. So okay.
I just don't believe they're as good as their 6-0 record indicates. They played no one, and then that's a game you're supposed to win against Notre Dame based on the scheduling.
Okay,
go ahead.
Stay in the ACC. Another undefeated team, the University of North Carolina.
I mean,
North Carolina's they have a game against Miami. Finished up with Virginia, Georgia Tech, Campbell, Duke, Clemson, NC State.
3.5. Their defense is still morbid. But if you have who could be the number 1 pick in the draft and Drake May at quarterback, you hit the schedule lottery, you don't face FSU, you can get yourself into that ACC title game. Got a shot. I go 3.5. But defensively, egads.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna give them a 5 because if they do what they're supposed to do, I'm going with the theory of the Drake May factor being seen in the college football playoff, and maybe that's something the committee wants to see. But schedule-wise, I can't see it.
All right, let's head down to the SEC Kenny's territory. The University, believe it or not, of Alabama. Normally, Bama is already penciled in to the college football playoff. This year, they're on the outside looking in. Kenneth, welcome to the party.
Well, let me save you some time. No. Out. Saban's done. Alabama's cooked.
You're a little biased.
I am a little biased, but from what I've seen from that team, they're one bad half of football away from crumbling. I don't see any fight in that team.
True, but they could still run the SEC. They're one lone loss out of conference.
I think you forget how tough the SEC can be.
If they played Georgia today, they'd get 40 rung on them. I just don't see it. I'm with Kenny here. They should never have beaten A&M, but then again, Jimbo gonna Jimbo. I'll put them right in that North Carolina category, 3.5.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to do 1. I don't like the QB play. Can't do it. Can't make it. Sorry.
Okay. All right, we haven't found that team yet. Let's hop in the plane. Let's fly out to the West Coast. The University of Southern California.
0. 0. Right with Louisville. They are the fakest. I can't stand them. I don't think Caleb Williams has been that great. Defensively, they're a complete joke. You're in triple overtime against Arizona. I am totally out on USC. There's no way they make it out of that gauntlet in the Pac-12. There's no way.
Okay.
I'm out.
That's the thing. The schedule they have, sure, if they can make it through it. I don't think they can make it through it. I think they lose this weekend. I think they're dead. I'm going to give them a 2.5.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's go with the team that they're playing this weekend because they're also on the list, the University of Washington.
5. Obviously, Oregon coming to town this week. I could upgrade that to a 6.5 or 7, but they're a 5. They have the best passing attack in America. They might have the best quarterback in America. We're going to find out how good they are when they take on
Not
Oregon.
according to some coaches.
What do you mean?
Oh, you didn't hear what Harbaugh had to say? It was basically J.J. and Caleb Williams, best two quarterbacks.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I thought you heard.
I didn't realize it was 1948 and you throw 16 passes a game. Whatever, dude.
They got Oregon. They finish up with Arizona State, Stanford, USC, Utah, Oregon State, and Washington
Listen,
State.
schedule's brutal, but if they make it through that, they have the elements where, if they played Georgia, it's probably over-under of 81.5. But, I'll put them go 5.
Yeah, this one's my team. This was an 8 for me.
An 8?
Schedule-wise, and they're playing so well offensively, I think the defense will catch up enough for them to make it. So, yes, an 8.
So this is the team from the
This is the
outside
team.
that will crash the party. All right, let's go locally. Well, not really locally. Big Ten, Penn State.
6.5. Really comes down to splitting with Ohio State and Michigan, and an 11-1 Penn State who doesn't play in the Big Ten title game is getting in.
Oh, the back door like Ohio State.
Now, they could run the table, but I don't see them beating Michigan. I don't right now. But if they do, I'd say 6.5.
I have to go 5, and I have to use, like I used the Drake May factor, I have to use the James Franklin factor. Because of him, I don't think they can get through their two biggest games, Ohio State and Michigan. If they happen to, okay, we'll see, but at 5 because of his factor.
Okay. I didn't include Ohio State because they're too close to the 4. But
I'd put Ohio State lower than Penn State.
really?
Yep.
Why is that? Just because of Kyle McCord?
Just haven't liked
Ryan
the way,
Day.
I didn't like the way they played off the bye week against Maryland.
Now,
I
did
didn't
we
like the
compare
fact-
Ohio State to Ohio State kind of how we compare Alabama against Alabama teams of the past?
Yeah, but I also compare it to, are they going to be able to line up against Michigan? Look, I thought they earned some points toughing out a win at Notre Dame, but off a bye week for you to look like that against Maryland, to be down 10-0, to not be able to get stops, to your running game looking like ass against the Terps. I'm kind of out, man. They got to start playing better if you want to be in that conversation.
David, 2 more teams. Mike,
What?
will Texas come back?
Yes.
Texas.
7. There's no one else in the Big 12 to beat them. They're going to face Oklahoma again in Arlington. They played a B-, C+ game in the Red River. They'll play better. Yeah, I think a 7 for me.
How do you play a B- game in the Red River? Like, you did not know that it was the Red River?
No, I mean, look, you go out and wacky interception off the receiver's hands at the 5. Quinn Ewers on Quaaludes into triple coverage. You had the most ridiculous goal line series of calls ever by Sark. You dropped an interception in the end zone. There were, how about this? How about the penalties? It seemed like every first down, it was 1st and 15. Some of the stupid procedural stuff. I didn't think they were sharp. I didn't like the performance. I'd say 7 for me.
I say 6. They make it to the Big 12 championship game against Oklahoma. But my thing is, if that game is close, then how can you overwhelmingly say they're better than Oklahoma?
Because of what I just said.
I don't think you could.
Eye test.
How about we finish it like this? Because this is the team that I think gets it, is Oklahoma. Oklahoma, fresh off the beating Texas, listen to this schedule. They now have UCF, Kansas, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, BYU, and they finish the year off with TCU. They're playing no one until they play Texas again.
That's fine. Let them get all their hopes up. Load up that silly little wagon. We'll take care of business in Arlington at the end of the year.
So what's the number you give for Oklahoma? A 0?
By the fact that they're de facto Big 12 participants in the title game, same as Texas. Call it a 7.
Okay.
You get to the game, it's a one and done. I just don't think they're winning that game.
See, I'm also giving them the same number I gave Texas. I'm giving them 6 because of what I said. If it's a close game, I don't know if Oklahoma can blow them out. They would have to blow them out for the committee to say, yep, they're that much better. And I don't know if they can.
There are 2 teams right now that I would give an 8.5 to. Michigan and Georgia. My highest rating.
Well, I mean, I'm not counting them because they're already there, yes.
But being already there doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't know about Florida State right now.
Well, no. But see, here's the thing, Mike. There comes a team from just nowhere.
Oh, okay.
That crashes the party.
All right.
Every year it's that. Like, that's why I didn't really include Ohio State, because they're too close to the matter. But
that's fair.
North Carolina could run the table in the ACC. Now, one last question. Is there any chance a 2-loss team can make the playoffs?
Short answer, yes. I mean, it'd have to be absolute chaos. But this is the year where you wish we had a 12-team playoff. Yeah, it could happen. But get your matrix out.
Like a Notre Dame?
No, they're done.
Okay.
They're done.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. I don't have the matrix, but I think it could happen, but you would have to fight.
You have to trust David and I that it could happen, and maybe during a break we can do Frank Lucas matrix.
Because there's only 2 teams that I could see that could actually go that route. And, well, I guess 3. If all of a sudden things just start picking up for LSU and they win the SEC, they're in. Alabama could lose one more time but win the SEC, and they're in. And Notre Dame, simply because they wear gold helmets.
What about Michigan?
No.
Okay.
I think that for the Big Ten, one loss would just be detrimental to you.
And that's because the Big Ten is
terrible.
No,
I'm saying, you one loss, but you won the Big Ten, yes. 2 losses, no.
Okay.
No. That's your college playoff preview blitz. 97-1.